Hey guys, I'm Melissa and welcome back to my channel. This is Beckham and he is really wanting to be in the video today, so we're just gonna roll with it. If you're new, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you'd like to tell me your first name and where in the world you're watching from. I just love to hear who I'm speaking with in these videos, and it just makes me feel a lot more connected to you guys. This is my 3-year vegan anniversary. I first went vegan in September of 2014, and so I thought it'd be a good time to kind of share with you some life lessons that I've learned since going vegan, some observations that I've made, things that I think would be really helpful to anyone who is either considering veganism or new to veganism. And for any of you guys who have been vegan for a while, I think you may be able to relate to some of these. And I've got some notes here that I'm just going to be referring to because I wanted to make sure to get all of these points into this video for you. Okay, so the first one is that, and this one's really important to keep in mind, and I still have to remind myself of this every once in a while, that not everyone is going to get it, and not everyone is going to be 100% supportive of you being vegan. And to not take it so personally and to not let it really hurt your feelings. And what I mean by this is that I think when you think that when you're making a positive life change or a positive choice for yourself and for the environment, for animals, that the people around you are going to be really happy for you and really supportive. But the truth is that not everyone fully understands what it means to be vegan. People may have their own misconceptions and ideas around veganism, and not everyone is going to fully get it, and they might actually judge you a bit for it, and that's okay. That people have the right to their own opinion. People have the right to feel the way they do about certain things, and just to not take it so personally. And I think another really important thing is, and this is something that I try to keep in mind, is that you just don't know if the person who may be judging you right now for you being vegan, a year from now, they could watch a movie about a slaughterhouse or about animal testing on cosmetics that could bring them to tears and could completely make them want to go vegan as well. And so you just don't know that that won't happen down the line in the future to that person. And so for the time being, to just remember that veganism is more than just about compassion toward animals. It's about being compassionate to other people as well. At least for me, I like to try to keep that in mind. And there's a big difference when someone has a genuine curiosity and they're actually interested in learning more about it, or maybe they want to know what made you go vegan. And I think that is that's a great thing, and I love to share that information, share different videos with them, or maybe share vegan recipes or some vegan creations that I've made with them, and that's a great experience. But if you feel that someone is being judgmental, or maybe they're trying to persuade you not to go vegan, I personally, how I handle it is just with compassion, and I don't try to force veganism upon other people. I just try to remember not to take it personally, that it's their opinion, and yeah, that's how I handle it. So if you are in a family and you're the only one who's vegan, or among your group of friends, just know that I was there as well. I was the only one at the time in any of my family or friends that was vegan. And so another thing I can recommend is to connect with people online. Even just watching videos of other people who are vegan kind of made me feel like I knew them in real life. And if you hear like snoring and stuff, Beckham's on the floor sleeping, so that's what that noise is. But so yeah, that was my first tip. On to tip number 2, or lesson number 2 that I learned. And this is really important, especially when you're new to vegan cooking and trying to figure out how to veganize all of your favorite foods and favorite meals, desserts and snacks. And it is to get creative and be patient. The first time you try making a vegan cookie recipe, or the first time you try any sort of vegan baking, or trying to make vegan pizza, or whatever it may be, if it doesn't turn out great, don't give up on it. Don't think that it's hopeless and that these types of vegan foods just don't taste good. because that's not the case. It just takes a lot of trial and error, like anything that's new. It can be frustrating because maybe you feel like, well, what do I eat? At first, it might feel like you only have a limited amount of options to choose from. Maybe you're only you only have a few dishes that you're really good at making, and it might be like a pasta dish or making vegan tacos, big salads, or whatever it might be. And you feel like, okay, these are the only things that I feel taste really good that are vegan, so what do I do when I'm sick of these few options? And just be patient with yourself. There's so many great recipes online. Another thing that you can do is you can go to a vegan restaurant and try some of the dishes that they make, and just kind of maybe take a photo of it on your phone of all the ingredients and try to recreate the ones that you really loved at home. And so just be patient. I know I've heard people say a lot of times that, you know, vegan desserts taste gross, or vegan cookies taste dry, or this or that. And I just think that it takes a lot of experimentation. And so don't give up. It's not hopeless. It just takes a lot of creativity. There's a lot of things that I know now that I didn't know before. I mean, I was never a real big baker. I wasn't really into baking before, and I didn't know that you could blend up dates and that it would kind of be like a caramel tasting flavor. And that's what a lot of vegan desserts use to sweeten it and to give that kind of caramel flavor. And I didn't know what nutritional yeast was. And it's a cheesy type powder that's dairy-free, of course, and it adds a cheese flavor to so many dishes. You can actually make like a creamy cheese sauce. You can make mac and cheese using nutritional yeast. And these are things that I never knew before and that I just kind of learned along the way. And I'm sure there are a lot more things that I'm going to learn about as time goes on. Okay, on to the next thing on my list. Okay, this is another big one. And it's that veganism is about so much more than just food, and it's so much more than just a plant-based diet. It affects the choices that you make with so many different things in everyday life. Everything from the cosmetics that you use, making sure that they're not tested on animals, that they don't contain animal products, animal byproducts. The household cleaners that you use may also be tested on animals. The clothing that you wear, if you have anything that has fur or leather, or wool, also, yeah, your accessories. There's so many things that may or may not be tested on animals, and it just takes some time to figure that all out, to do your research. And I think sometimes because of this, it seems like it's such an overwhelming life overhaul, I should say, to become vegan, because you're like, okay, all of a sudden I need to know all of this information, and maybe I'm gonna mess it up. Maybe I won't know what to do. Maybe I won't know that a certain product was tested on animals, or whatever it may be. And so I just think that for anyone out there who's considering going vegan and you feel that there's a bit of intimidation and you feel like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, then I just say start with where you're comfortable. If you're comfortable with starting with a vegan diet and just, you know, eating vegan meals, and then you want to kind of learn more about everything else, then take those baby steps. Whatever it's going to take to kind of get you going in that direction. And also be patient with yourself. If you mess up, don't feel like you're a bad vegan, and don't shame yourself. Like, maybe a month into it, you feel like, oh yeah, I'm making all of these great choices, I'm living a cruelty-free lifestyle, and then you figure out, oh my goodness, the products that I'm using to clean my bathtub and clean my floors were tested on animals or contain animal byproducts. You know, that might happen to you. And so just be patient with yourself. Know that you are learning, that it's a learning process, and that it's I would say it's better to slowly make these changes and have them last a lifetime than to feel like you have to throw yourself in completely, feel overwhelmed, feel completely shamed that you're doing it wrong and that you're not a good vegan, and then to go back. So that's just my personal recommendation. You know, I'm all about positivity, self-love, and the last thing I think a vegan journey should be about is about shaming and feeling like you're not doing it right. So that's my advice when it comes to that. And on to the next. Okay, this one is something that I've kind of actually realized most recently, and it's really, really cool. And it is how, I mean, I've said this before, that you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with in life, and you become who you surround yourself with. Well, going vegan actually really highlighted this for me in my life, because it was a thing that I specifically did, and I was able to kind of watch how my lifestyle change has impacted all of these people. And I'm not even talking about my YouTube channel. Like, I still get messages of people saying that they went vegan from watching my videos, and which is amazing, and I love that. But I mean the people who are in my day-to-day life, like my family and friends. And I think it's amazing to see how, you know, the things that I speak about and the choices I make, even though I've never forced anyone to go vegan or forced anyone to do exactly what I do, that it has impacted a lot of people. And for example, Alex's parents, they are completely dairy free. They have no milk in their house. When I go over for tea, they already have almond milk, coconut milk, soy milk in their fridge. They have vegan cheeses, vegan mayonnaise. They are trying all of these vegan products, sometimes even before me. You know, they're telling me about new things that they've tried. And I just think that that's so cool. I mean, maybe they would have made that choice anyways, but I think a big part of it was the fact that they see what I try. And sometimes I've made vegan desserts and brought it to their house, and it's kind of just trickled down. And same with my dad. Like, my dad has been a meat eater his whole life, and he made the choice to stop having beef or stop having burgers, and he only has bean burgers now. And so he was having barbecues at his work, and he would go to Costco, and she showed me the pack that he was buying, kind of like proud to show me, like, hey, I made this choice to, you know, have bean burgers instead because it's healthy. And so even though that's a small change, there's many more examples of that in my life. Of course, Alex, and it's just so cool to see. And it's just proof that, you know, we do become influenced by the people around us, and they're influencing us as well. And so it's just something to keep in mind. And I really liked seeing that. I thought it was a really cool thing, and it also made me more accountable for my other choices in my life, because I realized, hey, if that's trickling down to other people, what else that I do is influencing them, and vice versa. And I can see so many ways that my life has improved based on the good qualities that the people around me have, things that I've learned from them and that I've kind of adapted as my own habits. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. I would love to hear, if you feel comfortable sharing this, I'd love to hear if you're vegan, if you have a life lesson that you've learned. Maybe it's one that's similar to the ones that I've shared, or something else, something that you've either observed about life since you've been vegan, or a big life lesson you've learned that you would like to share in the comment section. And also, if you're comfortable sharing this, if you are someone who is considering going vegan and you feel like it's something that you've been thinking about for a while, and you watch vegan videos on YouTube and you're kind of hesitant or not 100% sure if you're going to try it, I think that maybe I can help you overcome some of those obstacles, or provide some information based on any of the questions you might have. And I think that could also be helpful for many people. So if you're comfortable sharing those, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. I'll try my best to answer all of the comments and questions in the comment section down below. And as always, I like to end my video with a positive quote, something uplifting and inspiring to leave you guys with for today. Today's quote comes from Christopher Columbus. "You can never cross the ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore." All right, I'll see you next time, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye.